Hello everybody, this is Kirisa here, and today I'm going to do my first movie review, and I'm going to do it of Iron Man 3. Now, before I get into the review, this is my first review, so I actually had to see this twice, because I wanted to get a better understanding of it. But now that I said that, let's get to the review. Well, the film was great. It started off. It was more centered around Tony Stark after the events of New York, the Avengers, the invasion, And then, he's struggling, he's trying to fit in, he's trying to cope with a big, expanding superhero community. It's like what Nick Fury said in the Avengers. There's people that are coming into this world that are unmatched, both good and bad. And, well, I know he didn't say good and bad, but you get my meaning, guys. But yeah, now onto the whole review. I thought it was okay, but if there's one thing people keep complaining about, if there is one major thing people keep complaining about, and it's not just comic book fans, it's all sorts of fans, whether you're a fan of comics or not, it's the villain of the film, the Mandarin. Now, I thought, from the trailers and from the start of the film before the twist, because everyone's calling it the Mandarin twist, the Mandarin twist, and I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Mandarin is Tony Stark's biggest enemy, the great, his arch villain, you could say. And I understand, there was no suit at the end of the movie, it wasn't just a suit versus a suit. That was great, I gotta say. Well, whatever you want to make a version of it. But, I kind of thought it was very misleading. Kevin Feige said that Ben Kingsley's Mandarin, multiple times, that Ben Kingsley's Mandarin in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was the rival to Tom Hiddleston's Loki. And I thought, oh shit, that's kind of that's a big understatement, because you're Kevin Feige. They made Loki, the Marvel Cinematic Universe made Loki into a A-list villain, probably. If you've done top 10 supervillains of all time, Loki will be in one of those places, whether it's any number. But yeah, I don't want to go off topic, but the Mandarin, I thought, from the praises, hell yeah, this guy could be good. But it turns out they made the Mandarin, the guy who is the Mandarin, an actor, and basically Killian is the Mandarin. Which I thought, oh, well, this twist is interesting, until he said, I am the Mandarin, with all his badass tattoos, and I was like, no, you're not. You're not the Mandarin, sir. It's kind of weird. I wouldn't say this is my favorite MCU movie or my favorite Phase 2 movie. I'm just gonna say I'll have to wait until Thor: The Dark World, Captain America, The Winter Soldier to find that out. But still, one of the things I love about comic movies, this is just Marvel or DC or any other comic movie that's being created. One of the things I love about comic movies is the villains. I'd go to see them just for the villains, even if it's a lesser known villain, like a C-list villain. But the Mandarin, I was like, well, this is where stuff gets good. Whiplash and Ironmonger couldn't take, Tony down. The Mandarin, he could push Tony to his core. And I thought it was pretty, badass in the trailers when Tony said, it's just you and me. And then Mandarin was like, oh, let's go. You'll never see me coming. I thought that was pretty badass. My god, man. It was the twist, I have mixed feelings about it. I kind of hate it, but I can understand, it's their own take. And plus, it's Robert Downey Jr.'s last time as Iron Man. Well, as far as everyone says, because, his contract is up. We don't know if he's going to be doing any cameos. Like, everyone says he's going to do a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh yeah, bullshit. there was no end credit scene where he was with the Guardians. It was Banner. Banner just appeared at the end credits. Like, Banner was pretending to be a psychiatrist, and at the end he fell asleep. He's like, oh, I'm not that doctor. And he wasn't listening to Tony's story. It was just Tony telling a story. But still, back to the Robert Downey Jr. thing, we don't know if he's going to come back. And if he doesn't appear in Avengers 2, that's very risky for Marvel, because really the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just Iron Man. People have said to me plenty of times, Iron Man has become the poster boy for Marvel because of the movies, even if his comics are not doing that great. I find that very, very risky if you're going to do a film without Iron Man. Whether the Masters of Evils are the villains for Avengers 2, or whether it's Thanos, because if you've not read the recent report, Thanos could possibly be the villain for Avengers 3 instead of Avengers 2. But back to the review, I thought that it was, I think it's very risky if you, put Iron Man in another film, but then don't put him in Avengers 2. That's very weird. But anyway, I'm going to give this review a 7 out of 10. The film was great. I thought, it's centered around Tony Stark, and it answers the question, does the suit make the man, or does the man make the suit? It was just Tony, getting destroyed and then getting himself back up again. The Mandarin twist was very confusing. I'll say that much. The Mandarin twist kind of was confusing because, people can say, Aldrich Killian was behind it all, since Iron Man, the first Iron Man film, he made the 10 rings, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just going to give this a 7 out of 10. And that's Kiddas here with my first comic book review. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree, disagree? And, hit that like button, subscribe, and see ya.